Crypto market right now is looking positive. You literally can observe a lot of coins popping here, doing a 40, 50, 100% a day, which actually shows you bulls are active in the market. And when you see these bullish continuation patterns, you are now waiting for a breakout to see another set of assets moving higher. Here in the market, you do see that Bitcoin is flirting with the level of 23,000, but at the same time, you do see other assets in the market starting to break to the upside. You see some of these assets running across to hit like massive numbers on a daily. So right now for XRP, for that matter, we are seeing a pattern which is being common in the crypto market right now. You're getting a rounded bottom pattern, and it's really important to understand why you are looking at a lot of different assets. Say here, before the pop here in the audio coin today, you actually saw a similar pattern evolving. You actually got a rounded bottom, which actually went up and then tested that resistance, broke that level, after which you started gaining momentum. Now, you went all the way up to 0.35 and then started correcting back down. We had the call here saying 0.35 is going to be the first profit taking level. Now, if you are in that and you're leveraged, you can take anywhere in between. You already get that targets. That's fine. But the point here is that the market shows you different angles, and in different time zones, you are able to see those, right? Right now, on a shorter horizon, XRP shows you a different pattern, right? When you're looking at Ether on a macro, you see a different pattern. When you're looking at Ether on a short-term point, now this is really important because it actually mostly follow Bitcoin. Right now, it's like, okay, Ether is not representing the altcoin market, or at least it's following the entire moves in the Bitcoin market. It more or less acts like that right now. Here in the Bitcoin, it actually shows you like, okay, the bulls are still active. It's not giving away for the bears on the short term. Now we can slowly zoom out and get to see that we are right now trending to the upside. And if you're on a daily, you kind of get that clear picture that bulls are really active here. You're breaking through all these levels. That's one thing. Then on the pattern side of this, you actually see a rounded bottom, which is breaking to the upside, right? So that's happening in Bitcoin at a time when we are waiting for continuation pattern in these other assets. Say for XRP, there is a little bit of concern which we are going to discuss, which the price action actually shows that maybe we are going to get a correction before we take another leg higher. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10%. Here, what we are looking at is a pattern which shows you that, okay, short term, you're breaking to the upside, medium term, you're at the resistance right now, and a break here, which the short term shows you, the ultra short term actually shows you, is like, okay, if you're breaking to the upside, now say that's the flag and you're measuring a move like 6 to 8%, and if that move is coming here in the market, which actually gives you an idea that you're breaking through. Now, why is that so important? Because this level is not only a medium-term resistance, it also happens to be a macro year-long resistance. So a break of that is going to give you volume. Now, why is volume important? You're coming here on this coin, which actually popped today, and look at that daily volume. You see what's happening? Now, just before that volume came up, you are looking for what happened before that. The market was showing you signals that volume is entering on that side. And on a short-term horizon, you can actually go deep, say 12-hour chart, 4-hour chart. You can go in, zoom in and see like, okay, with the breakout, as soon as the price started getting momentum after the breakout, people started noticing this and they jumped on this one. It popped, right? Now, you're here in XRP and you're looking at the volume, and personally, I'm a little bit concerned saying the volume is not coming back up. Look at this. That's where I have a little bit of concern, because on a macro, you do see bulls active. The price is not going below a certain support. But here right now on the short-term narrative, this is what we're getting. This is a rising wedge which usually breaks to the upside, and if that happens, that means you're coming to 0.38 and then bouncing up. Fine, but one thing which is a little bit contradictory to that is like, okay, you already had this pattern, which is a bullish signal, and then the price action showed that I'm breaking to the upside from that. So if we are correcting back down to this level, holding to 0.39, close to 0.4, and then we are bouncing to the upside, that's a bullish signal, which means you had this pattern which is valid, you broke that to the upside, now we are getting volume. Most likely we are going to get volume at that point. Now, why do I say that? Because here in the history, you can actually see similar pattern evolving, and that similar pattern, as soon as it broke to the upside, is when you started getting volume. You can see that the volume was not there when we were in the pattern or when we were breaking through the pattern. Just after that, when you got the confirmation of the price is breaking higher and it is continuing from here, the volume started coming in. So it's a little bit like FOMO here in XRP, which is, we can actually see like when the price here moves, it moves so fast. You can actually see compared to all the other assets, XRP really moves quicker, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. So as we discussed in the last one, right now the price action is showing you something that it is following the history. What is that? A pattern which we get very often in XRP, and right now this time around we are watching that in a lot of altcoins. One thing is positive because a lot of those altcoins are popping right now. You go to different assets like say audio, or you go into Keep Network, or you can go into any different assets in the market to see and learn what those assets were showing just before they broke to the upside. Now it's a duty to actually look at all these coins, other coins, to see which of those are actually showing the same pattern, a breakout, a retest, which means now you have an opportunity in front of you. And then what happens? It pops, boom. So once you're taking your time to learn through this, now you know, okay, what's coming. The market is going to show you all these factors which is evolving in the market, and you know all these targets of different assets which you're trading. And it's important because you want to take that profit out. Now, on the other side, yes, the macro is still showing you dollar is here. It's still having that pressure. Put on a Heikin-Ashi chart and you still see red still there, and it's active. Now, after coming this much to the downside, I personally would actually look for a retracement in dollar, because right now the dollar is actually showing me a pattern that, it's most likely there will be a bounce to the upside and come back down. And that's where I'm concerned. Because if it is actually doing that break to the upside and it's going further high above the level support of here, this one, 105, now that's going to be a little bit concerning for the altcoins and Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin may actually then come back. So in that meantime, if we are able to test 25, then we can say, okay, we may actually get rejected. We'll come back to 20 and then go back up. Now, the date is important. When this is going to happen means that's super important. Fed hike is coming so soon. By 2nd of Feb, you're actually going to get what Fed is going to do. Now, that really means dollar will be volatile during that time. And if that happens to hammer dollar in this pattern going to the downside, that is now bullish for us because it's actually breaking to the downside. We all understand it is going to be macro bulls being active there. We talked about stock market, and you can see those assets at 360 right now. It was like 250 when we were talking last time, and 160 at the bottom, right? So right now when you're here for XRP, what's important is to note that the price action is repeating historical movements. And historically, again, you see opportunities evolving just after this. And right now, not history, right now, in the market, when you see these assets moving, you literally can go into those assets one by one and actually look at what they were showing. Right now, you had another asset which were actually showing you that I have a rounded bottom pattern and a broke to the upside, then it went violent. So whether it's in a 4-hour chart or a 12-hour chart or a daily, you are seeing this, you can take benefit of that. Because before it actually breaks higher here, RSI kind of gives you an idea that the trend is changing and breaking to the upside. So you can actually take benefit of those. So if you are here in the market and you are looking for those breakout calls, targets being reached and all, then it's necessary for you to get this information on the right time. And if you are looking for that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where we actually do all this. We are looking for all these assets to make sure you have a proper understanding before you take that judgment, right? You can actually go in on an asset which is actually showing you I'm going up, but then there is no liquidity. So you are literally looking for something which can actually do well, and you are looking for the safety as well, because this is crypto. The risk is so high. So if the risk is so high, now you cannot actually control any systematic risk here. But what you can do is to control your risk tolerance level and what the market is doing. When the market is doing something, you can balance that. So here, when you see a possibility of price moving back up, price is above the moving average, it tested the moving average and bounced. The same is happening here. Price went above the moving average, it came back, tested the 21-day moving average, and then bounced, which is actually bullish for me. Now we're going to a 3-day chart to see what's happening here. You're breaking through this moving average. Short term, you go into a 4-hour chart. Yes, it is showing you a pattern which is actually bullish, but right now I would say we need to break higher first. Because if not, we are playing inside a pattern which is corrective, which actually gives more weightage to the bears. So short term, we are going to see some volatility here in the market. So if you are trading, be careful which asset you are entering. Don't be just tempted to jump onto these assets as you see they are moving higher, because you really don't want to end up chasing the green candles. Because on the short term, when you zoomed in, you can see that it's moving higher and it's showing you an opportunity when it's already up. But when you zoom out, some of those can show you I have more upside, and some of them will be like, okay, I'm at a resistance. So you need to actually make sure you get that point right. But one thing is for sure, if you're taking time to learn from this market is showing you a ton of opportunity right now. Look at all this. We had some of these calls earlier today saying these are actually breaking higher. Now, when we see that breaking higher, we are really happy. But when you're in an asset, maybe you are extreme trader who actually trades with 500x or 100x leverage, which is going to be super risky. If it's anything about 10x, I would say that's super risky. You need to really know what you're doing. Otherwise, the market is actually going to wipe you out. So when you're here in the market, understand we are waiting for a signal in the market. Dollar is showing you it can strengthen, which means market can go down. So expecting a little bit of correction here in the market is going to be healthy. And what we want to look for is key support levels. This has been a recent support, say 1,500 in Ether can be a good support. The price can meet the moving average and then bounce. That's going to be healthy. Now we want to see Bitcoin breaking $23,000. But right now, with that macro being said, there is still a possibility that before we do that, we may actually come down here. Now, if it's me, I would say, okay, that's positive. Price coming down here and then bouncing is going to be really positive. Yeah, which is like, okay, I broke this pattern to the upside. I had around at bottom. I went to the upside. I broke that. I'm coming back to a retest and then bounce. That is going to be healthy. But yes, this support need to be held. Now, the same, if you're moving on to a 3-day chart, you actually understand like, okay, that is going to be really healthy, because once you broke this level, you did not yet get a retest. So you did not actually see a lot of people taking profits who actually bought in here. So either they are long-term holders or they are going to take profits with next pump. So we can expect something coming. But with the news of, a ton of Bitcoin being moved out of the exchange after these moves, a little bit of bullishness is out there. Meaning, these guys don't want to take profit at these levels. They're moving it out of the exchanges. Which actually means, even when the price is coming towards this level, we are still watching whether they're coming back into the market to sell it. If not, that's a long-term bullish signal for the market. You can say next 3 months, next 6 months is going to be really bullish for this market, crypto as a whole, because at this time you see most of these macro patterns changing. Some of these are actually breaking through like, macro range where it's actually doing like 100% for the week, which is actually really bullish. Now you see other coins which actually did well last week, correcting back now. So it's really important for you to understand the correlation. Some of them just pumped, it's going to correct back down and then go back up. Say there are fundamental coins which we traded last week and made that 100%. It's like, okay, it's a fundamental token. It did that run up. Now there will be a correction. You're going to see some level of correction and the price action coming back to this range of support. And we are looking for signals in the market. If the market signals like, okay, it's going to bounce, now there is an opportunity for you to make some money. Now, if you are not trading, it's completely completely fine, because that's long-term investing, value investing. You know the value of this asset and you see opportunity. You're accumulating. That's a different attitude. You just neglect the noise in the market here and you're waiting for a pullback to buy more. So if you are looking for that in the market, then you're looking for the moving average to meet the price. So maybe somewhere here that will happen, and that will be a good range to buy for you. So guys, if you're looking for those kind of calls on the right time to get an understanding of what these assets are doing, when it's breaking higher, when it's reaching a target, you need to take profit, right? So if you're looking for those calls, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, the month is going to end, so I would say wait for a week and join the next week. That's going to be much better. But if you are a trader, now you may actually have better opportunity within this week. We don't know. So that's going to be the risk to take. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.